Module 2.6, clarify the area of responsibility. So now that we have addressed how to define the ways of working through a handbook, the second part is how do you clarify the area of responsibility in your team. So here's the problem usually when you don't clarify the area of responsibility in your team. You have often situations that are across functions and how to make a decision about it. So for example, there's a critical life bug. What do we do? Who is responsible for what here? We cannot come to an agreement on this design. What do we do? Is it the product manager? Is it the designer? Is it the team lead making the decision? This feature is not accessible. Who is responsible to fix it? So here it touches the topic of UX. Is it the UX designer, the product manager, the producer? Who is responsible for it? And when it's not clear who is responsible for it, then no one is responsible for it, unfortunately. And what happens is, in action, nobody takes care of it because everyone assumes that the other one will take care of it, or it's ineffective, so nothing happens, or after debate and clarification and discussion, somebody volunteers to take care of it. And then also, it doesn't create any accountability inside the team of who should be responsible for what, because there's no clear responsible people for a certain task or features. So a way to overcome this is by clarifying the area of responsibility. And if you're not familiar with this yet, it's the RACI matrix, where it defines who's responsible, accountable, or should be consulted or informed for different tasks or features or subparts of a studio development processes, etc. And with that kind of structure, this is how you can define, let's say, for when it comes to QA or when it comes to reporting bugs, you can go very granular about it, investigating bugs, or when it comes to architecture of a code or design, UX design, UI, sound design. Usually teams don't have a sound designer, like a sound designer name in the team. Who is responsible for the sound design when we don't have a sound designer, etc. And then in the right columns, then you have the team member names and who should be responsible or accountable. These are the most important roles, and informed or consulted. And we did this exercise with our team at the beginning when we formed to make sure, like through this list, there's a clear person who's accountable. So usually there's only one accountable for the outcome of this task to be executed. And there could be different people responsible who are responsible for executing the task, but it's a different person who is accountable for the result. So as you can expect, as a team lead, you are accountable for most of the tasks. So you are not responsible for them, but you are accountable for them for the result at the end of the day. A game success, of course, the whole team is accountable for it, but in reality, the real person accountable for it will be you as the team leader. So it's really important to clarify who are the people accountable on task and who are responsible of making it happen. And the accountable person makes sure that the responsible person is making it happen. And this is also a great way to know and clarify who in the team should be consulted about it, although they are neither responsible or accountable or just informed. And this is a team exercise you can do by sitting down with your team and going through all the tasks that happen in your studio to make sure that each task have a clear, accountable and responsible person. Another way as well to clarify, like very, very clearly, what are the roles and responsibility in a studio is mission cards. I love to work with mission cards because then I don't need to assume or imply, okay, as a studio lead, I'm a studio lead and I have responsibility of a studio lead. But people don't have no idea what I'm doing. So by writing it down and sharing openly transparently what is my mission, what am I doing, what are the outcomes I'm responsible for. It gives much more clarity and transparency to the team members of where is my focus and how do I spend my time. And the same goes here in the list. We have a mission card for all the roles. Product manager, artists, developers, everyone has a mission card in case one other party is wondering like, okay, what is that person doing? Who is responsible for what? Or even sometimes the people who are on board in the team, as developer, what am I responsible for? I was responsible for QA in my previous company. Am I responsible for the QA of bugs here in this company? Or am I responsible as an artist to make the marketing assets? I was not in my previous company. Am I now? So it's really important to clarify what are the roles and responsibility for each function, specifically in the context of your studio. It will make it easier for everyone. And at last, when you have all of the RACI and mission cards, we work a lot with Notion. We put everything in a team documentation, and I'm the one who's the owner of that, and update it accordingly every quarter, for example, to make sure that are we still aligned on the mission? Is it updated? What are the team behaviors, so attributes that we are valuing in this team and that it's really important and expected from each team member. And in this same team documentation, we have the list of all the mission cards. So document all of this to clarify really your area of responsibility in your team.